Gabby's just joining in. Hi,
Ah, hello,
everyone.
hello.
What's up, Gabby?
What's up, gal? How are you?
I'm good. Oh man,
Mm,
I'm just grooving to a track right now. It is like
um,
so good.
yeah, I was like, wow, what is this nice little like intro music? I'm so here for it. 100%. It's beautiful. And
Isn't it so beautiful how just music is like, oh,
mm-hmm.
so powerful. This song is called A Tone by, I can't remember, but hold on one second, everyone. We'll get started after this beat drop.
Ooh, ooh, single Q in. Let it ride. I love it.
Okay, enough of that. Good morning, everyone. Welcome
Good
to our
morning.
Healthful Hump Day edition of our Mind and Body series interviews. So every Wednesday, we are going live in the morning, chatting with amazing, influential females in the health and wellness industry. And we have the one and only Gabby from Fueled by Feeling this morning. So welcome, Gabs.
Thank you so much, Kate. I'm happy to be here. So happy.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. So as you're coming, just
Mm.
drop a little wave and throw some hearts for Gabs here.
Always. We love that little heart button. Where is it at?
I know. I love seeing the hearts. They make you like they fill my heart. They're so amazing.
Always, 100%.
Awesome, girl. How's your morning so far? You got your coffee?
Yeah. I like morning so far is interesting. I woke up with like more nerves than I would love to in the morning. And I didn't really know where it came from. But then like I taught for All City this morning and it was just like, like just like being with people, moving a little bit, like it was so nice. And I was like, oh right, like that's exactly like missed it. So yeah, it was good. It was good. Now it's kind of like a little bit of a turnaround and I'm really happy to be here.
Well, I love those little drive-bys. I know I see people going
Mm.
by and it's like, oh my God, it's like such a treat.
I know. I'm like, can I just like catapult myself like into your car? Like one day.
Yeah.
One day we'll be able to do that again.
Amazing, girl. Well, yeah, I get the nerves. I mean, I even coming on and having regular conversations just because, I want to ensure that there's value brought to our Aura community. Like I even get a little bit nervous, every
Yeah.
time. So I feel that. But thank you guys again for joining. And Gabs, I want to just catapult us right into this.
I
So
mean,
we're only going to take up about kind of like 10 to 12 minutes this morning, just so everyone
yeah.
knows. But to get you shaken up and into it,
Oh, oh,
I have some
let's
quick
get it.
fire questions that I didn't
Mm.
prep you with.
Hey,
So
hit me.
a few
Shooting from our
questions.
hip.
Yeah, let's get it. So I have 5 sentences and I just want you to finish them. Okay.
Yep.
So number 1, I am grateful for
Ooh, my body.
body. Absolutely, girl. My spirit animal is
Corgi.
what?
A corgi.
Oh, like that dog?
Yes, yes. Like, yeah, like the small, short dog with the small little legs. 100%. Yes.
I've never heard someone reference a
Oof.
corgi as their spirit animal, so God bless you.
100%. Yeah, that's like undoubted.
The last thing that made you cry was
Oh, I don't remember. It was pretty close when I saw my parents. Like a few days ago, actually last week. Just picking up some like house things, and obviously we were at the cross, but I hadn't seen them in like 2 months, and we have a very close relationship. So I was just like, wow, I miss them a lot. So yeah.
parents. Pulling at the
Yeah.
heartstrings.
Angels, I know.
What is your go-to pump up song right now?
Oh, Seek Bromance.
Yes, such a good one.
100%. Yes.
And your favorite thing about humans?
Ah, wow. My favorite thing about humans. I think our ability to like pivot, but not only within ourselves, but with each other. You know, I'm like thinking how like adaptable we all are. And then it's like, even as friendships or relationships transition, it's like, yep, I'll meet you here and then here and then here. Like we're just constantly like shapeshifters all of the time.
Yeah.
Without even really like knowing it, I think, until even right now. That
I love that idea of totally embodying a shapeshifter. That's really cool.
right? Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Well, just getting also right into it. Give the good people what they want. Who is Gabby and what is Fueled by Feeling? Give us the rundown.
Yeah, this one's always, well, even when I read it, I'm like, dang, there was a time where like I thought they had to walk the same tightrope. Like I was like, oh, Gabby is Fueled by Feeling and Fueled by Feeling is Gabby. Like that is just like identity for sure. And now kind of taking a little bit of a step back, I'm like, of course, there's part of me that's like tethered in Fueled by Feeling, of course. However, for me, it's like Fueled by Feeling exists in its own like entity and purpose, and as do I. And granted, there's part of my purpose that is within Fueled by Feeling, and that purpose is to support you in like transforming and like supporting you with your relationship with movement. And that's a major one, and that one is so, so close to me, but it's not the only reason why I'm here. And a really big reason for why I'm here also, like for Gabs, is like to play, to love, to have fun, to like leave my heart in as many people's hands and places in the world as I possibly can. And I'm so fortunate that I get to do that now, like even amongst this time, like even more so now, I think with Fuel by Feeling, and it gives me a little bit of like, oh, wow, dang, like that can actually be your life. Like you can actually create, like put it in like more people's hands, and you can also like go elsewhere with it. I don't know. I'm just having a time with that.
Well, you are creating something incredibly unique. I haven't really seen an online movement community ever like what you're doing. And that's really why I wanted to have you on this morning, is because what you're doing is so impactful. And since it is online, it's global. So yes, we're in Vancouver, but you are doing some really, really cool things. And I guess we can actually just get right into that, because you're launching something very special tomorrow, or no, on May 1st.
Friday. Whoa. I'm like, hold on. No, we still got a day, right? Because the day in my mind kind of just like stretches a little bit longer to like a year. So we have time.
So why don't you let it, like, what exactly are you launching? Like, what can we expect on Friday?
Yeah. So Friday's really exciting. So it's called Fueled by Family. It's a members collective. So it's a subscription that we can sign up for monthly, 3 months, or 6 months. But essentially it's an online community for us to move, nourish, and write and reflect. So the more that I thought about like, okay, the movement piece about it, like for sure, I can support you in that all damn day long. And I'm also like, there are so many other like peripheries around like your relationship with movement, and ones that have played such important roles for my relationship with movement. And one of them is like nourish, like how do I fuel myself in order to move? Like how do I fuel myself after? And the second piece was like, what are moments of like huge celebration and ones that feel sticky, like noting all of those down. So I have like a paper trail of this like beautiful relationship that is for sure ongoing. And that's when I was like, I want to create a house and a roof in which you can get all three of them. So move, you get weekly workouts, nourish, you get weekly recipes, and then write and reflect, you get weekly writing prompts that help support your relationship evolve with movement. So all of that is found under like our membership hub. There's also going to be like monthly team sweats. We're going to have events. There's going to be like exclusive members only perks, of course. But yeah, it's pretty much a membership to help support your health, like on all fronts. Because it's always been more than the movement piece. So that's kind of where that stemmed from.
Yeah. And I mean, right now, like we don't have any idea how long this is going to go on for, right?
Yeah.
We don't know how long we're going to have to be inside. And, you know, we could eternally be pivoting to online for everything, you know, that really could be a thing. So I think exploring what you're doing is so important because, you know, how do we keep that community together, and how do we keep that vibe and the overall wellness in all three of the silos that you're working with. So
Yeah.
if you guys haven't checked out Fueled by Feeling, hop over, go look at some of Gabby's IGTVs for her movement and the types of ways she moves her body, the messaging. Like, I just go to your page just to sometimes feel amazing. The workouts that you are hosting for free with Barb right now, you know, it's every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 a.m. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then Saturday at 9.
Yes, Saturday at 9. Like, I've never laughed so hard in movement. And like, sometimes you're laughing so hard that you collapse in whatever you're doing.
Of
and like,
course.
what a beautiful thing. Like, working out doesn't have to be a chore, and it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
forceful. It can be something that is just like exciting and funny, and where you're just like in the vibe, right? So I love what you're doing,
100%.
Gabby. And I think like, you know, I think that it's going to bring massive value to the entire, I don't know, the entire globe, man. Like, I see a huge vision for you, and I think it's so cool to have you here before it even launches, sharing it, you know, with the people. Like, it's awesome.
Of course. And that's kind of it, right? It's like moving without the expectation of it needing to look any certain way, about just like, oh, right, I'm doing this because like it purely just makes me feel good, right? So finding like, I move because it makes me feel a certain way, not to look a certain way. So that's always been the like deep rooted like soil like philosophy of Fuel by Feeling, because for so long, like I'm sure everybody can kind of attest to having like the movement in order to look a certain way. And that's where I was like, hold up, there's got to be more than this, because even when I do look that certain way, why do I still feel like there's more and it's not good enough? So that will always be like our like grassroots for sure.
Yeah. I had a live session with the ACE class this morning, and we talked about that, where like when goals are rooted in an outcome, how the habits in between in the process, there's always something more, and you're left like, it feels like work. Whereas if like your goals are now your identity, and it's who you want to become, changing your identity is like where the real golden nuggets are, right? And I think like what you're doing, you're implementing these habits and this platform for identity change, and instead of like an outcome or a goal type thing. And that's what's super, super cool. So love what you're doing. For like a little bit about you too, like what I love hearing what people's like personal mantras are, the way they live their lives. Like, what's something that is your, like what you embody and you teach, like every time you communicate, like what is your message?
So there's like two that first come to mind. One for sure you're familiar with as well, is just like nothing matters. And of course, I know things matter, but they don't matter unless we make them matter. And there are so many times where I water, like, I don't want to say the wrong bucket, but for lack of a better way to say it, for sure, like the wrong bucket. It's like I'll water the limiting beliefs, and I'll water like so many things that are kind of like, that are like stressors that are keeping me so like in locked. And right now, one of them is that like, so I don't have like a Wi-Fi modem right now. So essentially, and that's like my own doing. And like, I'm sitting on my floor trying to like suck Wi-Fi from my like neighbor's house. She's giving me the password, don't worry. But I'm like here, and I'm like, oh, like, you know, I'm kind of getting wrapped in it a little bit. And I was like, Gabby, you were going to look back at this and like laugh so hard. And you know what, tomorrow morning, it's actually not going to matter. And I'm like, oh yeah, right. Like, this is going to be a moment where it's going to be really funny, and I can just let it go, because it's just going to like suck energy from me in the meantime. So how can I again make those things not matter in order to create shelf space for things that really do matter? You know, like the connection piece of work that I get to do, like how can I then like solve the problems we're solving, rather than like an energy dump into something that actually doesn't bring me any life whatsoever. So that's like a really big one right now.
And what you often say is, you say nothing matters and it's all perfect. And like those two things together, I believe, are so powerful. And I think when we're adopting these mantras and positive mindset shifts, that is such a key one. Nothing matters and it's all perfect.
Yeah.
You know,
Of course.
I love when you say those things.
Thank you. And it kind of just like encapsulates it all. Like, your timeline is your timeline. Like, I say that often because I'm like, sometimes like regardless of what it is, like your ears aren't open or you're just not ready to receive whatever the message could be, whether it be implicit or explicit. Like, you haven't felt it like deep into your core, but there's a moment where you do. You know, it's like when you tell a pal the advice that you know that they'll get one day, but then until they actually feel it on their own timeline, you're like the biggest cheerleader. Like, oh my God, yes, I saw this for you like months ago. It's kind of like that. It's like your timeline is perfect, regardless of how long or how short it takes you to get there. Like, you will, and that is like, yeah, it's all perfect. I mean, what rush do we
All
have?
perfect and nothing matters. I love it.
There it is.
Amazing, girl. Well, I was just, if you have like one kind of final message right now, just given the current, I guess, state we're in, you know, I think that we're now aware that this is the new reality. It's not just like a blip in time anymore. It's how things are going to be for the unforeseen future. So given the circumstances, anything that you can share with our lovely peeps on like mindset or nutrition or wellness or anything along those lines?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just speak to movement related for sure, because like that's kind of where I live, and like in my wheelhouse is that like, regardless of any sort of movement that you can create throughout your day, like whether it be a walk, whether it be something more high intense, whether it be like a medium little bucket, whatever works for you, please take note of how you feel afterwards. So I love asking, like, after I move, I feel, and then have like 3 lines and fill in that space with how you feel afterwards, and keep like a bank of those words. Like, it gives me so much life to look back and I'm like, wow, you start to notice themes and like just like general buckets that you can put them in. And you're like, oh, I actually felt the same when I went for a walk and when I did like a high intensity workout afterwards. It's like, right, because it's actually same. Like, it's all perfect. There's no one lesser than or one greater than. It's just choosing movement that supports you. And I think that's a really cool way.
Yeah, that's really powerful. Taking note of how you feel after you move, because
Yeah,
that makes perfect sense. That's going to propel you to the next movement and the
of
next
course.
movement.
Yeah.
And it doesn't become again about the outcome or the goal of movement. It becomes about your identity and how you feel.
100%. Yeah, I
And
know that you can always create that feeling, you know, like you're the bridge, like you just got to sometimes like give a little bit of like a nudge to get on the bridge, but that's okay too.
yeah, get on the bridge, little
Get
nudge.
on the damn bridge. You'll feel great.
Awesome, Gabs. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your morning to share about what you're up to, Fueled by Feeling, some golden nuggets there around mindset and movement. So grateful for you, girl. We are going to have a full-blown interview with you up on our website soon. So we'll link to that as well so people can read a little bit more about you and everything you're up to. So thank you.
That's amazing.
Can't wait
Thank
for
you.
your launch.
Oh, and join the family is free 2 weeks. So, you know, we got some nice spicy little family integrations going on. Thank you so much, Kate.
You're welcome, girl. Thank you. Love you
Of
lots
course.
and have an amazing day, everyone.
Love you, Major. Thank you, everybody.
Mwah.